Well, good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Wednesday morning. It's now the 13th day of August 2025, and this is the morning briefing. As I'm looking out the window from the home weather office, I have blue sky and a little breeze here. Comfortable morning. But out there on the horizon, I see a little bit of marine layer. Yeah, when we start getting marine layer pushed inland in mid-August, you know it's going to be a very comfortable day. Let me show you the way that looks. So here it is on the satellite this morning, and this is what I'm spying out the window from the home weather office. And yeah, so this is marine layer, as you can see here along the coast, but with the onshore breeze get pushed nicely inland. All of this, of course, will burn off. We also have some cloudiness through parts of Lassen County, Plumas County, as well as Butte County. Some of that is also some low cloudiness. So what a beautiful morning we have. The air quality is really good. Not as much smoke coming off the Gifford fire down south, which is great news there. And nothing really going on with any fires going on up to the north either. So here it is mid-August. We have marine layer, we have onshore breezes, we have comfortable temperatures, and we have good air quality. Does anybody have it any better than us? All right, let's take a look at some temperatures throughout the area. I'm going to show you just a few examples. Now we're going to look at Placerville, just as an example of what's happened in the foothills. Now I mentioned this yesterday that the Delta breeze hadn't really cooled off the foothills. So yesterday morning, this is a 24-hour graph. So this is yesterday morning. It was 80 degrees in the morning, then went to the low 90s. Actually had a 91 for a high. But then look at how much cooler it is. This morning, down around 70 degrees. The temperature's over here. This is humidity. I know it says 60 right next to it, but this is 70 degrees. Actually dipped down to 68 for a little bit. So we have seen a nice drop, a 10-degree drop in temperatures in Placerville. Let's look at Auburn. Well, I think we'll see something about the same. Yesterday morning, we were in the upper 70s. This morning, upper 60s to low 70s after topping out yesterday at 93. And let's just give one more. Let's take a look at Grass Valley. Same sort of thing. Yesterday morning, we were in the low 80s. This morning, in the mid to upper 70s. We still have the inversion going on, of course, but it is cooler, more comfortable. And then let's just go down to the valley floor and see what happened. Look at Executive Airport, 57 degrees this morning with the marine layer. And you'll notice here that what we have in the valley, because we don't have the inversion is in the foothills. The foothills are above the inversion, or in the inversion, if you will. But here you have a much steeper graph. You started yesterday morning at 60, went up to 89, actually 90 it says here, and then back down this morning into the upper 50s. So you get a steeper graph in the valley. But man, what a nice morning we're having. Let's show you one other thing that I was looking at. The climate summary from yesterday for Sacramento topped out at 89 at Executive. Again, that might get updated to 90, but we'll see. After an overnight low of 58, the average is still 92. So a day cooler than average. We've been seeing a lot of those, which is nice. The other thing I wanted to point out here is sunrise and sunset. For today, sunrise 6:20, sunset 8:01, which means tomorrow the sunset's around 8 o'clock, and we're just a day or so away from a sunset before 8 o'clock. Back in June, late June, the sunset is around 8:40 to 8:45, depending on your location. So we've lost about 45 minutes on the front end and a similar amount, I should say on the back end, a similar amount on the front end. So far we've lost somewhere in the range of an hour and a half of daylight. And yes, that means that fall is quickly approaching. I know for many of you, not quickly enough, but it is on the way. All right, so like I said, we have a beautiful day underway. We even have clear skies in the northwest. There is something I wanted to point out here that's going to be happening over the next few days, which is pretty interesting. The high is now beginning to get squashed. Trough is digging in, which means we're going to have some cooler days ahead. This is into the day on Friday. We may see a bit of a warm-up on Friday, but then cooling again as we head into the weekend, and especially this little feature right here. This is Sunday. All right, that looks interesting. Nice little trough means cool, comfortable temperatures, but it's more than just the little trough coming by that makes this interesting. So for that, I'm going to show you something I haven't shown you probably since, I don't know, April. We're going to talk about precipitable water, and we're looking out here in the Pacific. So here's California. Now watch this area up here. This is really interesting for this time of year. We often see higher levels of precipitable water come our way at this time of year, but they come from the south with the monsoon. Instead, this is Saturday and then into the day on Sunday. I mean, you could make an argument that this is an atmospheric river. And I suppose if I was a YouTuber that liked to give alarming headlines, I'd put out something about an atmospheric river heading to the West Coast. But I'm not going to do that. Instead, we have this higher levels of water coming our way, which is pretty high for this time of year. It dissipates, of course, as it comes down into California. Let's give it a closer look. Let's change the sector here. So now here's California, and there's that area of moisture. And then as we get into Saturday and Sunday, this is Saturday, this is Sunday. Look at that. This is some pretty good precipitable water for this time of year. So is there any rain with that? Well, let's take a look. There is. Now, it's not going to be very much, but if you're planning on spending your weekend camping, houseboating on Shasta, there might be some rain on Sunday. Saturday night, Sunday morning. That's Sunday morning right there and Sunday afternoon. We could actually see some real rain. And I'm not talking about thunderstorms here. That'd actually just be normal everyday rain. So we wouldn't be concerned about thunderstorms and lightning and that sort of thing. It'd be just some regular old rain. And actually, it's showing that we could see, according to this model anyway, if it's true, maybe a quarter of an inch of rain. And in these areas where we do see fires quite often at this time of year, I'd even consider that to be beneficial rain. So, man, like I said, who has it better than us? All right, let's go back to this because, sure, everything is peachy as we head through the weekend and into the day on Sunday. Very comfortable weather this weekend. For the valley, temperatures in the mid-80s. This is nice. But the models are hinting that we may see the high return, especially right in here. We have trough here, high here, classic four corners high. This is the 19th. I think out toward the 21st, 23rd. Yeah, the models are hinting at maybe some more heat as we head toward, let's say, the 21st to 23rd, but that's out there on the horizon, and we'll see what happens. So in the meantime, man, we've got it good. We've got a comfortable day today. Temperatures will stay cooler than average today, a little bit warmer into Thursday, Friday, back down again as we head through the weekend. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, it's going to be great. But again, keep in mind that from Redding to the north, there is a chance of some rain, I'd say Saturday night into the day on Sunday. Keep an eye on that and see how the models treat that. But man, that is an interesting level of precipitable water coming down into California as we head through the weekend. And yes, while the daylight is shrinking, we're not quite out of the woods just yet in terms of heat. But so far, man, what a great, comfortable summer we have seen. That's everything I've got for you on this Wednesday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.